Virgo.
Do you follow Karen's daily scopes yet? If not, and wonder what they hold, click the sample link below and listen to both the Astro Scope and Tarot Scope, and get a feel for what you can expect in your love, career, and financial outlook for today.
Hello Virgo, this is your forecast for March of 2014, and we have 2 new moons this month. For you, the first new moon will land on March 1st, and this is going to be in your area of partnerships, relationships, your spouse, your significant other, long-term commitments there, and how you relate one-on-one, all right? So this area you only get highlight once a year, so this is going to be the area for you to put down your intentions of saying, you know, especially just, you know, hone in on how you feel on this day, and then make that promise to yourself that you're going to dedicate a little bit more time here every day, every week, throughout the months until next year, to dedicate to this area where you guys can actually start working more so deeply one-on-one, listening to one another. It's not just communicating outwardly, but it's also what you take in, what you listen to. And if your partner hasn't been the greatest of listening, maybe, you know, that should be a vow to yourself too, to work on your communication skills so that you can find this oneness, this ability to merge into, because when the two of you merge, you actually enter in a third entity, which is spirit from above, and you just become super powerful together. So this is a beautiful way to start the month. The sun, the new moon, is in the sign of Pisces, which is a very spiritual sign. So it's not just your day-to-day love life we're speaking about. We're talking about your spirit and your soul evolution here together. And just in the first day after this new moon, pay attention though, because the moon is still new, it's still fresh. It's just slightly cresting here, and it's going to come in and it's going to cup Neptune. Neptune is your hopes, dreams, and visions. It's what you long for on those very high levels of soulmate, twin flame type relationships. So I can see how this longing that you've had for a long time now is coming into a position where you can actually work it. It's going to be beautiful. Beautiful way to start the month, and especially also because we got the Sun and Jupiter here on the 1st as well. I'll get back to that. So, but the second new moon, let's talk about it. Normally we only get 1 full moon and 1 new moon a month, and for a long time the new moons always come in early in the month, then the full moon later in the month. But this month we have 2 new moons. Very seldom that happens. We had it in January, leaving us with only 1 moon. Full moon in February, and then we have 2 new moons again, so we're shifting the cycle around. So from next month onwards, we will have the full moon being the first moon that we have of the month, and then the new moons will start coming in at the end of the month for the rest of the year. So we're shifting gears here. But the second new moon for you will be in the 8th house of intimacy. It's where you will penetrate deeply into the emotional feelings of what you've accomplished throughout March. And with the partner, you know, you had that first new moon, right, in the partnership area, but now you're taking it that one step beyond. It's like, okay, now we've opened up, we have talked, we have related. 7th house is all about how we relate. Now we've been relating, now where do we go with it? Are we now equipped to actually do the deep dive? See, the 8th house is ruled by Scorpio. It's our inner emotions, those intensities that we feel. Sometimes, you know, the Scorpio energy can be so vulnerable, you know, that they hide it. You know, they have their secrets there. It's like they don't want the world to see these insecurities. But see, now when you have this opening and this beautiful grasp with your partner, that you might have been opening a little bit more, relating more, giving insights to one another more, well, this will now allow you both to go deeper in, to a deeper but also a higher level Scorpio is the deepest depth of soul. It's that inner chamber that we kind of like hold very close to heart. But the higher level of Scorpio is the eagle. This is you, your spirit soaring, now looking at things from above, from a different perspective. So you will have this stretch coming up. So the intention for this new moon, which will come in here on March 30th, mark that on your calendar and see how it's going to work for you. What did you guys achieve since March 1st, okay? And then the new moon intention here on the 30th should all be about, I will promise to allow myself to go to the depths of these feelings, these intensities that come up with no fear. See, because when we're insecure, we have fears, but it's all about purging through, letting go of fears, because fears act as invisible blockers between us and our partners. But when we let go of the fears, we merge, we become one, we become this extra huge, large, spiritual human being, right? And you will come to actually start ascending towards what Neptune really wants you to do. Neptune in the 7th house of committed partnership. Because only when there's no fear and there's full trust can Neptune take you to those higher elevations of really starting to download what cosmic love is all about. Earthly love is all about convenience, security, and holding a certain space so you don't come in and look inside of me, you know, that thing, all the invisible walls. But the cosmic love is seeing everything from above and experiencing it from within. There's this beautiful flow. So you're in for it, Virgo. If you are ready, you know, don't just stand on the diving board. Be ready to take the leap of faith and dive into that pool of love here, March, okay? You're going to start at the beginning of the month, and you will end up in something that can only start you off on a whole new year cycle. March 30th, on that second new moon, you won't have a chance to do that again before, you know, April of next year. So, you know, grab this chance, like I said, put it in on your calendar so you are aware. We have a lot to talk about this month. Why? Because there's so many things shifting on us, and there's been so many things going on here since the end of the year. So they might be just a little longer, these videos. But we have here also Mars and Saturn going retrograde on us. March 1st is going to be Mars retrograding, and for you it will be retrograding in your 2nd house of income, money, the money you earn, everything you value, which is also your value systems, your self-esteem, is now going to be, you know, in focus and highlighted. And then we have Saturn, which is all about karma, the path we've been on, you know, what we've put down as foundations, and what we're building as solid structure foundations for the future. In your 3rd house, all about communication, how we communicate and what we communicate. Communication being a two-way stream, so it's not just monologue and what we give out, but what are we listening to? Are we taking it in? Is your partner or people around you taking it in and listening to you? Have you been heard? Or do you feel they haven't been listening? Well, then Saturn's going to help you turn that around. So I want you to hopefully be able to embrace Saturn, even though Saturn can be heavy, it can be weighted, and a lot of people don't like Saturn, but Saturn is your best friend to create the structure of your life. Okay, it's the foundation of your life, and if that is not set the way you want it on these ideal levels, how can you ever achieve? How can you climb to the highest aspect of what your life is all about? That's why you're on Earth, isn't it? To expand and embrace and implement these higher changes. So it's going to be exciting, but yes, it's going to take several months. And when planets retrograde, we say they go to sleep, but don't be fooled. It doesn't mean nothing's going to happen. But what it does mean is, yes, things slow down. And first half of 2014 is going to feel very slow. Why? Because we started out in January, where Jupiter was already retrograde from last year. Then Venus went retrograde January. Then come February, Mercury went retrograde. Here comes March, and then Mars and Saturn is going to go retrograde on us all the way to July. So, in the overall, when we transfer what that really means, it means that we're working through karma. And we should be happy for that, because the second half of this year is going to be really, really good if we do the work that is required of us. If we're listening, if we're paying attention, if we are aware, if our consciousness is ready to grow as the human beings we are, we cannot just end up taking, new leaps, but we can actually end up taking quantum leaps, so that what we're achieving in half a year could take us several years under normal circumstances. If we only have one, retrograde at a time, but here they're all back to back, forcing us to slow down, forcing us to look within, and not just pay too much attention to the future, but we have to understand our past, where we've been, in order to create and then manifest that new path. So we have Mars slowing down in your income house, in the house of value, self-esteem, and how much are you paying out as to what you're bringing in. It's passing through the sign of Libra. Libra, of course, are the scales. So you're going to be looking very closely at what comes in, what goes out. Are they measuring up? Are you getting too little for what you feel your worth is? Well, then you're going to be working on it. Whether that self-worth comes out in the area of relationship or career, with your employer, or how you're building your own self-esteem, raising that. And then, of course, Saturn here, third house, communication, travel, people at distance, and maybe even working through karmic issues with siblings or neighbors. Your close community might be a little bit more important to you on, some level, one way or another. Then we have the full moon. It's going to be in your first house. The first house is all about you, your personality, the I am, and it's going to be full in your sign here this month, and so that's good. You can embrace that. It's going to give you more of who you are, double whammy kind of thing. That will be on March 16th. And you just want to see how that's going to work for you, because I think it's going to reflect somewhat of the new moon intention there March 1st. So whatever you were speaking to your partner about on March 1st, the intentions that you put there is directly going to be coming back to you here mid-month on the 16th. So note that date too. Then we have the area of fifth house, which is also love. It may not be the committed love. It could be new love, or the falling in love, or renewal of feeling that you're elevating the levels of romance with your committed partner. Venus has been working here December, January, February in this area where you have probably been questioning yourself. The dimension of love and how you want this to radiate in your life, how you can not just embody it, but how you can be playful with it. How can you share yourself in a freer, maybe, manner than elsewise, because you're an earth sign, so you're grounded. It's been in the sign of Capricorn, which is also earth sign, so it's grounded. It's serious. It's in this, ruled by Saturn, karmic relationships. So it's had this level to it. But the playfulness might have come out these last couple of months, to have fun with love, to be that inner child, to bring that child out to play, is all because of Venus has been in the fifth house of Leo, and Leo is the sun child. So it's loosening up, being more creative, more playful, and especially this month here, because the Sun, Mercury, and Neptune being in the sign of Pisces in the seventh house, I think you're looking not only at it, but you're already feeling it. You're experiencing and expressing this area. Then we have the area of intimacy, money, taxes, joint accounts, those things, joint ventures. Maybe you're looking into investments. Little changes going on there with Uranus. The area of this chart here this month would be on the 18th. Might be a little surprise for you. Maybe it's a payback or a bonus, or maybe some tax return money coming for you. In that case, it should be good. Venus is here, Uranus is here, so great day to chart down. But then we also have, let's just go up to the top of the chart. March 1st, we have the Sun, we got Jupiter. The Sun is you, Jupiter is the expansion of, and this is in the area of groups and friendships. You might have felt that has been a little slow. That's where Jupiter has been retrograding, okay? But from March 6th, now, Jupiter is going to be moving forward again. So the Sun and Jupiter here in this beautiful trine on the 1st, even though it's not retrograding, it's stationary. It has turned and it's just about to start moving forward. So it's aligning you with hopes and dreams, and maybe some plans coming into action between you and your partner, maybe planning about a new trip for later on in the season. So that should be joyful. You have on the 3rd, you got the Sun and Pluto coming in and kind of not just talking about it like on the 1st. Pluto might just come in and confirm it and say, okay, done deal, that's what we're going to do. Pluto here really wanting now things to fall to earth between you and your partner, or your partner wanting it to really lock it in here with you. There is intensity, there's charm, there's love, there's passion here between the 1st and the 3rd. Then Venus is going to move out of this area where it's been 3 months in the 5th house. And now, since things have been locked in, you're feeling confident, you're feeling strong. So Venus now can move into the 6th house. So you can see the timing of the planets and how they do the dance together, right? It's been there 3 months, long enough to create new structure. But now that it's tied in, it can let go. So you can start focusing more back to your day-to-day routines and what you do, what you work with. A lot of things coming into streamlining this area. Then we have on the 13th, a Sun and Saturn. The Sun in your 7th house, Saturn here in your 3rd house, trining one another. So more communication, solidifying things. Maybe you and your partner are going to be talking about situations of the past that might have been a little complicated maybe, or that was at some point maybe a little sensitive. So you couldn't really work it through then, but now that you have this new power between you, it might feel a little safer now to bring it up, and maybe you might even end up being able to laugh about it. And if you manage to reach that level, that's healing. Then it's good, it's gone, it's talked through, and that karmic bubble burst is over. And then we have also on the 14th, more communication. I see it feeling very dynamic, lighthearted. Once again, bringing up maybe some plans that you spoke about earlier on in the earlier months might return now, and you might start tweaking at how you can start expanding this. And this is about your financial income and the way you work. So that might be financial talks here within your career. Then we had that exciting day on the 18th, as I said, Venus, Uranus, and then we have on the 22nd, a very inspired day of Mercury and Neptune. This is in your 7th house, so it is your relationship area. Maybe you're going to be dreaming dreams together, maybe, you know, face to face, eye to eye, some of you, you know, through your text or phone or over the wires, really now trying to catch up on what it is you want to do. If everything was possible to do, what would we do with it? Okay, so it's that dream state, and it's a great day to access those dreams, because nothing can manifest in our lives. We cannot attract anything in our lives that we haven't at one point thought about. And it's that fire, high attunement of Neptune, which is the higher octave of Venus, which is love. So It's like this day is good to put it out there so you can start magnetizing it into your life, which will be coming a little bit later. And then we're ending this month here on a scale of the 28th, which will be Mercury and Pluto. Once again, deep talks, very intimate talks perhaps as well, and where you're feeling that some transformation now has taken place, old issues gone, there's new skin that's grown over whatever scabs, there's confidence, there's strength, there's power here on the 28th. And this is something that you can take with you, you know, in the coming days and weeks. It's not just that day, it's what you embody that day, which will empower you to bring it into your future. And then we have the 29th, Venus and Saturn. Venus being love, it's those things that you value. Venus now in this area now of the 6th house, your day-to-day routines, and lining up with Saturn, which is your 3rd house. So I'm thinking that you are now starting to work on expressing what you need in your daily life, not just every once in a while, but this is how I want my days to look like. I want to do this, 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 and that, complete certain actions and let go of the stress. So it's like bye-bye stress. I'm focusing on what is empowering, because when you're empowered, you feel energized, and that's when you can move mountains. You know, we don't get anywhere when we're just frustrated and fragmented. You know, it's like when we bring this energy together, and we can see that this is when we refine our new dimensional higher beings, and you know, this is what it's all about. So listen here, Virgos, you know, it may sound like things are standstill into July with all these retrogrades, but it's not. The faster moving planets, you know, even though, you know, Mars and Saturn here, Venus has been retrograde, Mercury's been retrograde, so there's not a whole lot going. It's the same areas now that are lit up so that you can work through these areas, but it's the fast moving planets, the Sun, the Moon, Mercury, that will ricochet as it transits, you know, around the chart. It will be kicking off, you know, when it touches upon aspects to these slow moving planets that will give you insights of when things light up and when action takes place and when it slows down. And that's what the astroscopes do. For those of you already following along on it, we'll see how it works, you know, so we can be equipped throughout the months, weeks to come. And then the taroscopes, they are a little different. Astroscopes, the planets speak, you know, what the planets are saying. The taroscopes are more like a live movie, you know, on the inner screen of what's coming up on a day-to-day basis, and showing you what people may pop up, who you'll be interacting with throughout the day, whether it is in your relationship or if it's in the workplace or whatever is going on. The taroscope really kind of complements that taroscope. So for those of you who haven't tried it yet, then you know you can listen to the video on the homepage here, on the channel page, and you can get some samples to listen at so you can get a feel of what you can expect there. But this is what we have now for March, so make sure to listen to your moon and your rising sign, and I'll catch up with you again in April. Bye now.
Do you follow Karen's daily scopes yet? If not, and wonder what they hold, click the sample link below and listen to both the Astroscope and Tarot Scope, and get a feel for what you can expect in your love, career, and financial outlook for today.